Liam, and today we're going to learn about vaccines. Most people know that vaccines are celebrated for their part in fighting disease. But a growing group of people think that they endanger our health instead of protecting. The internet is full of stories about allergic reactions and even death following vaccination. But it's true that vaccines can have side effects. Now, let's look how they work and see how dangerous they really are. So what is a vaccine? A vaccine is a fluid that helps our body to become immune to a disease that is caused by a certain germ. So let's go back in time, to the year 1786. Whoa! So now we're gonna witness the story of a scientist called Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner is known as the father of vaccinology. He noticed that women that developed cowpox never developed smallpox because the cowpox viruses and the smallpox viruses are from the same family. So he tried an experiment. He took some material from the cowpox virus and injected it into an 8-year-old boy called James Phillips. He hoped that this would help people in the smallpox epidemic. Unfortunately, it worked. The 8-year-old boy, James Phillips, was immune to smallpox. And this is how vaccines were born. Now, more than 7 billion people are waiting for the same thing. A vaccine that will help to make people immune from the virus that causes COVID-19. Different types of vaccines work in different ways. But whatever strategy they use, all vaccines always leave memory T cells and memory B cells that will help defeat this in the future and probably will stay forever and you'll be immune to that disease. It usually takes up 2 or more weeks for the vaccine to produce enough memory cells. Therefore, people can get COVID-19 a little bit before vaccination and a little bit after vaccination. There are 3 types of COVID-19 vaccines that are authorized by the FDA and one that is authorized in some countries. The first type of vaccine is a mRNA vaccines. Some examples of this vaccine are Pfizer and Moderna. They use little parts of the material of the virus that causes COVID-19. This vaccine gives us instructions to our cells to make a protein that is harmless and it's completely unique to the virus. After our cells make a copy of the protein, they destroy the genetic material so it would be harmless. The second type of vaccines are the protein subunit vaccines. Examples of this are Novavax. This contains tiny pieces of the virus that are harmless to us instead of using the whole virus. Our body recognizes that this protein shouldn't be there, so it builds up T memory cells. But this time they don't build up B memory cells, they build up antibodies and to fight that enemy in the future. However, these types of vaccines are very complex or complicated to manufacture. The first vaccine is called the vector vaccine, such as Sputnik V and AstraZeneca. In COVID-19, the vector is a spike protein found on the surface of COVID-19. Once the body cells are infected, they are instructed to reproduce large amounts of antigen, which in return activates the immune system. The last types of vaccines are the whole virus vaccines, such as Sinopharm and Sinovac. The whole virus vaccines work by injecting into your body a weakened pathogen that causes COVID-19 to trigger protective immunity to it. The big challenge about these vaccines is that booster shots may be required, and that means injecting the same vaccines more than 2 times. So getting vaccinated is one of the many steps to getting protected from COVID and also protecting others. Vaccines work with your immune system. For example, in Africa, in the year 2019, there were 250,000 cases of measles reported. But in the year 2020, there were only 7,000. What a great down! And that's how vaccines are progressing more. So let's make a thought experiment on real numbers. Imagine a developed country in a parallel world. It has good healthcare, but people stop vaccinating. In this case, let's say that 10 million children got measles. So what will happen? 98% will get a high fever and a very unpleasant rash. Up to 8% will suffer from dangerous diarrhea. Up to 7% will suffer from ear infection that can lead to hear loss. What did you say? Hello? Anyone here? 6% will suffer from pneumonia, the most dangerous effect of measles. It alone will kill 12,000 children. Taken together, 2.5 million children will suffer from some more serious measles effects, and about 20,000 children will be killed by it. But it doesn't stop there. The children who beat measles stay with a very low immune system, and that gives time for other infections to do damage to our body. Ah! But if you are allergic to vaccination, only herd immunity can stop you from getting sick. But that means that you have to be a good promoter to everyone to get around you gets vaccinated. Because there has to be 95% of the people around you vaccinated. So then the virus, when it infects one, it kills their enemy before it can infect others. But today, the virus is mutating a lot, which means getting from person to person to person to person, so it can keep reproducing. So what we need is a lot more herd immunity. So we hope, and I hope, that very soon people should start vaccinating themselves, and also the government has to import thousands, millions, trillions, billions of vaccines so we can get vaccinated. So bye, see you in the next video. Woohoo! Oh no, there's a virus. Bye.